Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Abraham Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of a coin that might be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to make you a small fortune. Yes, we're talking about the 1980 United States 1-cent coin, a piece of currency that's often overlooked but could be worth a lot more than you think. When most people think of the 1-cent coin, they probably envision a penny with little value, something that's tossed aside or collected in jars over the years. However, the 1980 US penny is different. This small coin, which looks like just another penny from the 1980s, holds a surprising story that could make it worth thousands of dollars if you happen to have one in pristine condition. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this 1980 penny so special? After all, the US Mint produces billions of pennies every year, and 1980 was no exception. What sets this coin apart is its rarity, its history, and the condition it's in. If you happen to stumble upon a 1980 penny that has been well preserved, or better yet, one with some unique characteristics or minting errors, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. Let's take a closer look at the history of the 1980 US penny. During this time, the United States was experiencing significant economic changes. The early 1980s saw a period of high inflation, with rising prices and interest rates affecting everything from daily expenses to the value of currency. The US Mint was busy producing coins to meet the demand, and the 1980 penny was part of this effort. But due to the high volume of coins being minted, most of them circulated heavily, resulting in wear and tear. Coins that were used in everyday transactions, especially pennies, often ended up damaged, worn down, or tarnished. That's why finding a 1980 penny in exceptional condition is so rare. Most of the coins from that year were subject to years of handling, which means that they're often not in the best state for collectors. Coins with noticeable scratches, dings, or discoloration are common, but finding one that has remained nearly flawless over the decades is an incredibly rare find. The value of a 1980 penny skyrockets if it's in mint state, or even better, in what's known as uncirculated condition. But wait, there's more. Some of these 1980 pennies have a unique feature that adds to their value: errors. That's right. Just like with other coins, some pennies minted in 1980 were struck with errors during the production process. These errors can include things like double strikes, off-center designs, or misprints that make the coin stand out from the rest. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind pieces of history. For example, if you have a 1980 penny with a double die error, where the design on the coin is doubled, it becomes an incredibly valuable piece. These minting mistakes are rare, and finding one can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth thousands of dollars. Now, I know what you're probably wondering: how much could a 1980 penny actually be worth? While the average 1980 penny in circulated condition is worth just a few cents, a 1980 penny in excellent or uncirculated condition could be worth much more. And if you happen to find one with a rare minting error, that value can increase dramatically. In fact, depending on the condition and the rarity of the coin, a 1980 penny could be worth as much as $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but it's true. So, the next time you dig through a jar of old pennies or come across one of these coins in your pocket change, take a closer look. You might just have a hidden treasure on your hands, and with the right condition or a rare minting error, that penny could be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Remember, the key to discovering the true value of your 1980 penny is examining its condition carefully and looking out for any unique characteristics or errors. If you think you might have a valuable coin, it's always worth getting it professionally graded by a numismatist. A well-graded coin can command a much higher price on the market, especially if it's a rare find. So, to all the collectors out there, don't overlook those small, seemingly insignificant pennies. The 1980 US penny could just be the hidden gem you've been searching for, and with the potential to be worth thousands of dollars, it's a coin worth paying attention to. Top 2, we're diving deep into the world of US coins, and we're focusing on a specific one that could have slipped under your radar, the 1981 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, but trust me, this little coin could be worth much more than you think. Stick around as we unravel the story behind this coin and reveal how much it could be worth today. In 1981, the US Mint was in full swing, churning out millions of pennies for circulation. This was a time when pennies were still widely used in everyday transactions, and the world was slowly transitioning from the late 70s into the early 80s. The economy was in the midst of change, inflation was on the rise, and the mint was producing more coins to meet the demand for currency. But hidden among these routine issues is a penny that can hold substantial value for collectors. If you know what to look for, most of the 1981 pennies that you come across are likely to be just that, pennies. They were widely circulated and spent countless years in wallets, jars, and vending machines. But here's the twist: a 1981 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition is becoming harder and harder to find, and that's where the true value lies. While you may come across tons of pennies in your pocket change, a 1981 penny that's in excellent condition is a rare find, and that rarity is what makes it so appealing to collectors. Now, let's talk about the design of the coin itself. On the obverse, or the front, we see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been the face of the US penny for over a century. His image has stood the test of time, symbolizing leadership and the enduring legacy of one of the most revered presidents in US history. Surrounding this portrait, you'll find the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and the year of minting, 1981. These elements are classic features of the Lincoln cent, making it a recognizable and cherished coin for many. The reverse side of the coin features the traditional design of the Union Shield, a symbol of the United States' strength and unity. This reverse design has been used on pennies since 2010, but back in 1981, it was a familiar and respected emblem, solidifying the coin's place in American history. The design is simple yet powerful, representing the very foundation of the United States. So, what makes the 1981 penny stand out from the rest? The answer lies in its condition, and more importantly, in the rarities and errors that may exist within that batch of coins. While most of these pennies were heavily circulated, a few survived in excellent condition. For coin collectors, that's the key to unlocking the potential value of the 1981 penny. A coin that is in uncirculated or nearly perfect condition can be worth far more than its face value, but there's more to the story than just pristine condition. As with many other years, some 1981 pennies were struck with unique minting errors. These errors are part of what makes coins so fascinating to collectors. It's the tiny imperfections, the misprints, double strikes, or off-center designs, that can turn an ordinary penny into a rare and valuable piece. A small minting flaw can add significant value to a coin, especially if it's something that only a few collectors know about. For instance, if you happen to find a 1981 penny with a double die error, where the image on the coin is doubled or misaligned, you could be holding a treasure. These error coins are highly sought after because they're unique and stand out from the millions of regular pennies produced that year. Finding one of these minting errors is like discovering a hidden gem in a sea of ordinary coins. The rarity of a 1981 penny in perfect or near-perfect condition, combined with any potential minting errors, is what gives it value on the collector's market. And now, you're probably wondering just how much this unassuming penny could be worth. While typical 1981 pennies are worth only 1 cent, a 1981 penny in top-notch, uncirculated condition can fetch significantly more. And if you're lucky enough to possess a 1981 penny with a rare minting error, you could see its value increase exponentially. So, what's the value of a 1981 penny that's in outstanding condition or has a minting error? Are you ready for it? Hold on to your seats, because a 1981 US penny in uncirculated condition or with an error can be worth as much as $42,000, that's right, $42,000 for a single penny. It may sound unbelievable, but when you consider the rarity and condition of the coin, it makes perfect sense. A coin that has survived in such remarkable condition or one that features a rare minting error is a true collector's item. So, next time you find yourself sorting through a jar of pennies or going through your loose change, take a moment to examine any 1981 pennies you come across. You could have a hidden treasure sitting right under your nose. The key to unlocking the value of these coins lies in their condition and any potential rare minting errors, so be sure to inspect them carefully. Top 3, we're focusing on one such coin, the 1975 United States 1-cent coin. You might think of it as just another penny from the 70s, but believe it or not, this particular coin could be worth much more than its face value. Stick around, because what we're about to reveal might just change how you look at pennies forever. To begin, let's take a trip back in time to 1975. The United States was in the midst of a transformative period. The country was recovering from the economic challenges of the 1970s, including inflation and the oil crisis. It was a time when the economy was shifting gears, and the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing coins to keep up with the demand. The 1975 penny, or the Lincoln Memorial Cent, was part of this effort. It was a coin produced in vast quantities, just like many others at the time, but what makes this penny stand out is the rarity and condition of the ones that survived. Most of the 1975 pennies you'll come across today are likely worn, tarnished, and heavily circulated. These coins were in circulation for years, passed through countless hands, and spent a lot of time in change jars or under couch cushions. The majority of these pennies have seen better days, and unfortunately, they don't carry much value beyond the penny they represent. However, if you happen to find a 1975 penny in pristine condition, or even better, one with a unique feature or error, you could be holding a much more valuable coin than you thought. You might be wondering, what makes a 1975 penny in great condition so rare? The answer lies in the fact that most coins from this era were, well, just used. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, and they were put into daily circulation across the country. This high volume of production means that most 1975 pennies experienced the wear and tear of constant use. However, a well-preserved penny from this year is a rare find. Mint condition pennies are hard to come by because most coins from the 1970s were quickly spent and worn down, but there's another factor at play here that can make the 1975 penny especially valuable: errors. That's right, just like other years, some 1975 pennies were struck with minting mistakes. These errors can range from double strikes, off-center designs, or even missing elements in the design. Coins with minting errors are incredibly desirable to collectors because they are unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that can't be replicated. And when it comes to the 1975 penny, a rare minting error can significantly increase its value. One of the most notable errors to look out for on a 1975 penny is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck multiple times, causing the image to appear doubled. The most common place you'll see this is on the lettering, where the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" may appear to have a doubled or shifted effect. These double die errors are highly sought after because they're relatively rare, and they make the coin stand out from the billions of normal, unflawed pennies produced that year. Another potential error to look for is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't perfectly aligned when it's struck, causing the design to appear off-center. This can create a striking and visually interesting effect on the coin, and collectors go crazy for these types of errors because they're so distinctive. Finding one of these rare variations could be the key to unlocking a much higher value for your 1975 penny. So, you might be wondering just how much this little penny could be worth. It might surprise you to know that a well-preserved 1975 penny in uncirculated condition, or one with a rare minting error, can be worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. While most 1975 pennies are worth only face value, the value of one in excellent condition or with an error can be quite substantial. Here's the big reveal: if you have a 1975 penny in exceptional condition or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $67,000. Yes, you heard that right. $67,000 for a single penny. While that might sound unbelievable, it's true. Coins in mint condition or with rare errors can command a price much higher than you would expect for something as small as a penny. If you have a 1975 penny that's been well preserved or has a minting flaw, you could be holding onto a valuable collector's item that could fetch you tens of thousands of dollars. So, what should you do if you think you found a 1975 penny that might be valuable? The first step is to carefully inspect the coin for any unusual features or errors. Look for any doubling in the text or any misalignments in the design. If you believe the coin might be in mint condition or has an error, consider getting it professionally graded by a numismatist. A certified coin grader will be able to assess its condition and assign it a grade that will determine its market value. It's always exciting to find a coin that has the potential to be worth so much more than its face value. The 1975 penny may seem like a small, insignificant coin, but when you dig a little deeper, you may just discover that it's worth a lot more than you imagined. Top 4, we've got something truly fascinating for you, the 1985 United States 1-cent coin. You might be thinking, a penny from the 1980s? How valuable could that possibly be? Well, stick around because this seemingly ordinary penny might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's take a trip back to 1985. The United States was in a period of economic growth and change. The country was recovering from the challenges of the late 1970s and early 80s, and the economy was stabilizing. During this time, the U.S. Mint was working hard to produce coins to meet the demands of an expanding economy. The 1985 penny was just one of the millions of coins produced that year. But what sets this coin apart from the others? Well, there are a few things you'll want to know, so let's dive in. First off, when we think about the 1985 penny, we're talking about the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent, which has been the design of the U.S. penny since 1959. On the obverse side, you'll find the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, looking out with his timeless gaze. The inscription, Liberty, runs along the left side of the coin, and the phrase, In God We Trust, is seen above Lincoln's head. The year of minting, 1985, is also featured on the front of the coin. On the reverse side, the design is just as familiar. The Lincoln Memorial, an enduring symbol of the nation's strength and unity, is showcased. This iconic image has been on the back of pennies for decades, representing not just the nation's history, but its ideals. Together, these two designs make the 1985 penny a recognizable and classic piece of U.S. currency. So, what makes the 1985 penny so special? Most of the pennies you'll come across from this year are likely just your everyday, run-of-the-mill coins. They've been spent, passed around, and have likely seen better days. Over time, the high volume of these pennies produced meant that many were heavily circulated and became worn down. So, what are we looking for in terms of rarity? The key lies in the condition of the coin. When a penny from 1985 has been carefully preserved and remains in uncirculated, near mint condition, it becomes far rarer than you might think. And the condition of the coin isn't just about its appearance. It's about its preservation over the years, which is why finding a pristine 1985 penny is a bit like finding a hidden treasure. Most pennies from this year were heavily used and quickly tarnished, so uncirculated examples are hard to come by. Coins that have been stored carefully, away from the elements, are few and far between. Now, let's talk about something even more exciting, minting errors. As we've seen with many rare coins, sometimes mistakes are made during the production process, and these errors can make a coin much more valuable. The 1985 penny is no exception. Some of these pennies were struck with errors that make them stand out from the rest, and these error coins are highly sought after by collectors. One common type of minting error to look for on the 1985 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled. If you look closely at the letters in the word Liberty or the phrase, In God We Trust, you may notice that the text appears to be slightly doubled, giving it a unique, distinct look. These errors are rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for coins like these. A 1985 penny with a double die error could easily command a much higher price than a standard coin. Another potential error to watch out for is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned when it's struck, causing the design to appear off-center. The result is a visually interesting coin that stands out from the rest. Off-center strike errors are also highly coveted by collectors because they are unique and hard to find. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1985 penny with an off-center strike, you could have a valuable error coin on your hands. But what does all this mean for the value of the 1985 penny? Well, here's where it gets exciting. While most 1985 pennies are worth only face value, a coin in uncirculated condition can be worth significantly more. And if you find one with a rare minting error, the value increases dramatically. So, just how much could a 1985 penny be worth? Get ready for this. Depending on its condition, a 1985 penny with a rare minting error or in perfect condition can be worth as much as $43,000. Yes, you read that right, $43,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but it's true. A 1985 penny in pristine condition or with an error can be worth far more than you would expect for such a small coin. That's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes the most unassuming pieces hold incredible value. So, how can you spot a valuable 1985 penny in your collection? The key is to carefully examine the coin for any signs of minting errors. Look for double die errors, off-center strikes, or any other unusual features that make the coin stand out. Also, pay close attention to the condition of the coin. If you happen to have a 1985 penny that's in near mint or uncirculated condition, it's worth getting it professionally graded. A coin that's been graded by a certified numismatist will have its value accurately assessed, and you'll know exactly how much it's worth. The 1985 penny might seem like just another penny at first, but as we've discovered today, it has the potential to be worth much more than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, knowing what to look for can make all the difference in discovering valuable coins in your own collection. Top 5. We're diving deep into the history of a coin that might just be hiding in your change jar, or maybe you've already come across one. Yes, we're talking about the 1971 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, this might seem like just another penny, but this little coin might be worth far more than its face value. Let's rewind to 1971, a pivotal year in U.S. history. The country was undergoing significant economic and cultural changes, and it was a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. The 1971 penny, known for its classic Lincoln Memorial design, was no exception. But what sets this coin apart, and what makes it so intriguing to collectors? Well, it's not the design or the year alone, it's what happened after the coin left the mint. The 1971 penny was produced in vast quantities, as was common with pennies at the time. It was made to be a working-class coin, circulated widely, and spent countless times. So, what are the chances of finding one that's in great condition today? As you might expect, most of the 1971 pennies you'll encounter are worn, tarnished, and damaged due to years of heavy circulation. Coins that have been tossed into jars or rolled up and stored for years usually show signs of their journey through history. But what happens if you manage to find one that hasn't been subjected to all that wear and tear? Coins that are well preserved are incredibly rare. Imagine coming across a 1971 penny that's still in mint condition, no scratches, no discoloration, no signs of being spent. The number of 1971 pennies that remain in such pristine condition is small, which is why these coins are highly prized by collectors. If you're lucky enough to have one in uncirculated or near perfect condition, you might have stumbled upon a hidden gem. But there's another reason why the 1971 penny is worth paying close attention to: minting errors. As with many other coins, mistakes happen during the production process, and these errors can make a coin significantly more valuable. If you find a 1971 penny that has a unique flaw, such as a double die or an off-center strike, it could be worth far more than you might expect. These error coins are especially coveted by numismatists and collectors because they're one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the standard coins. For example, a double die error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, creating a doubled effect on the design. If you closely examine the lettering on the 1971 penny, particularly the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," you may notice that they appear to have been stamped twice, giving them a blurry, double appearance. This is a sign of the double die error, and coins with this flaw are highly valuable in the world of coin collecting. Another minting error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned when it is struck, causing the design to appear off-center. This is one of the more striking and noticeable errors you can find, and it's something collectors are always on the lookout for. An off-center 1971 penny is a rare find and can fetch a significant price compared to its standard counterparts. Now, you may be wondering how much a 1971 penny in excellent condition or with an error is really worth. Well, here's where it gets interesting. While the vast majority of 1971 pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, a well-preserved example in uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error can command a much higher price. In fact, some of these coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. A 1971 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition, or one with a rare minting error like a double die or off-center strike, could be worth as much as $71,000, yes, that's right, $71,000 for a single penny. It may sound unbelievable, but this is the reality in the world of rare coin collecting. Coins that are in pristine condition or have unique errors can fetch a huge price on the market. The rarity and desirability of these coins make them valuable collector's items, and if you happen to have one in your possession, you could be holding on to something far more valuable than you think. So, how can you spot a valuable 1971 penny in your collection? The first step is to carefully examine the coin for any signs of wear or minting errors. Look closely at the details, particularly the inscriptions and the alignment of the design. If you see any doubling in the text or an off-center design, you could have a coin that's worth far more than a penny. Once you've identified a potential rare penny, the next step is to get it professionally graded by a certified numismatist. A professional grading service will be able to assess the coin's condition, verify any errors, and give it an official grade. A well-graded coin is much more likely to fetch a higher price on the market. It's truly amazing how something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny can hold such incredible value. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, knowing what to look for in your coin collection can lead you to discover valuable treasures. The 1971 penny is just one example of how coins from the past can carry a hidden value, and it's a perfect reminder to never overlook a seemingly ordinary piece of currency. Top 6. We're going to uncover something extraordinary that you might find hiding in your coin jar. Yes, I'm talking about the 1983 United States 1-cent coin. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny from the 1980s? How valuable could it possibly be? Well, trust me, you might be in for a surprise. This seemingly simple penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent, and by the end of this video, you'll see why. Start. Let's take a quick look back at 1983. The United States was in a period of economic recovery, and a lot was happening in the world. The country had recently emerged from the inflationary struggles of the 1970s, and Ronald Reagan was in office, implementing significant economic policies. In the world of currency, the 1983 penny was just one of many coins minted to keep up with the demands of everyday transactions. However, it's the years that followed that make this particular penny more interesting than most. The 1983 penny was part of a massive coin production cycle, and millions of these pennies were minted. For most people, the 1983 penny was simply a small, copper-plated coin used in daily transactions, with little thought given to its value beyond its face value of just 1 cent. However, what many people don't realize is that coins from this period, especially the 1983 penny, have become a hot item for collectors, particularly those in excellent condition or those with certain unique characteristics. The 1983 penny, like all Lincoln Memorial cents, features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Lincoln's likeness, which has been on the penny since 1909, is still as iconic as ever. The inscription, "In God We Trust," arches over his head, while the word "Liberty" is found on the left side of the coin. The year of minting, 1983, is also prominently displayed near Lincoln's shoulder. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, which has adorned the back of the penny since 1959. The memorial, located in Washington, D.C., is a symbol of American strength and unity. While the design itself is quite familiar, it's the condition and specific features of the coin that can turn a typical 1983 penny into something extraordinary. Most of the 1983 pennies that you come across today have been heavily circulated. They've been tossed around in wallets, change jars, or vending machines, so it's not surprising that the majority of these coins show signs of wear and tear. But what happens when a 1983 penny manages to survive the years without suffering from any heavy circulation? Well, that's where the real value lies. Coins in uncirculated or near mint condition are a rarity, and that's what makes them so valuable to collectors. Finding a 1983 penny that's still in mint condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or other signs of heavy use, is a big deal. These coins are much harder to come by, which is why they hold a higher value than their more worn counterparts. But there's another, even more exciting factor that could make a 1983 penny worth a fortune: minting errors. During the minting process, it's not uncommon for mistakes to occur, and these errors are exactly what collectors are looking for. One of the most sought-after types of error on the 1983 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, resulting in a doubled image on the coin. If you look closely at the lettering, especially the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," you might notice that the text appears to be slightly duplicated, giving it a blurry, double appearance. This is a prime example of the double die error, and coins with this flaw are highly valuable and sought after by collectors. Another potential minting error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is misaligned during the striking process, causing the design to be off-center. This error gives the coin a unique and irregular appearance, which makes it stand out from the rest. Coins with this error are not only visually interesting, but they are also rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. You might be wondering just how much a 1983 penny could be worth if it has been well preserved or features a minting error. While most of these pennies are worth only their face value, a pristine, uncirculated 1983 penny or one with a rare error could be worth much more than you'd expect. How much more? Well, you're in for a shock. A 1983 penny in exceptional condition or one with a minting error can be worth as much as $46,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $46,000. It's hard to believe that a coin worth only 1 cent could be worth such a hefty sum, but in the world of rare coin collecting, it's all about condition and rarity. So, what does this mean for you? If you happen to come across a 1983 penny that's still in excellent condition, or one with a minting error, it might be time to take a closer look. You could have a coin worth thousands of dollars sitting right in front of you. To find a valuable 1983 penny, all you need to do is keep an eye out for uncirculated coins or error coins. Examine the details carefully, and look for signs of a double die error or an off-center strike. If you think you've found something rare, the next step is to have it professionally graded. A certified numismatist can assess the coin's condition and help determine its value. It's incredible how something as small and simple as a penny can hold so much value. The 1983 penny is just one example of how coins from seemingly ordinary years can become rare and highly sought after. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin is definitely worth keeping an eye out for. Top 7. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American history that could be hiding in your coin collection, or perhaps you've stumbled upon it in your spare change. Yes, I'm talking about the 1979 United States 1-cent coin. Now, most people would look at this coin and think it's just another penny, but I'm here to tell you that this small, unassuming coin could actually be worth far more than you think. Stick around to learn just how much this penny could fetch today. let's take a step back in time to 1979. The world was experiencing major political and economic shifts. In the U.S., President Jimmy Carter was in office, and the country was dealing with a tough period of economic inflation. The year 1979 was a turning point, as the U.S. was facing rising oil prices, an energy crisis, and inflationary pressure. These changes led to the U.S. Mint continuing to produce coins to meet the demand of a country in the midst of a transformation. But what makes the 1979 penny so special? Well, the answer lies in the details, and you'll be surprised just how rare this coin can be. The 1979 penny was minted as part of the regular production of Lincoln Memorial cents, a design that was first introduced in 1959 and lasted until 2008. The obverse of the coin features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, a portrait that's become synonymous with American currency. Above his head, you'll see the inscription, "In God We Trust," and to the left, the word "Liberty." The year of minting, 1979, is located just beneath Lincoln's bust. Now, if you flip the coin over to the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., which has been featured on the back of the penny since 1959. The Lincoln Memorial symbolizes the unity and strength of the United States, and it serves as a fitting tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. The coin is beautiful in its simplicity, but what makes this 1979 penny more intriguing than others is its rarity in pristine condition. The 1979 penny, like many other coins from that era, was mass-produced, and it was designed to be used in everyday transactions. It circulated heavily during the late 70s and early 80s, meaning most of these coins are worn, scratched, and tarnished by years of use. So, how do you find a 1979 penny that's worth far more than its face value? The answer is condition. The most valuable coins from this era are those that have been well preserved, often referred to as uncirculated or mint state coins. These coins were carefully stored and shielded from the heavy circulation that most pennies endured. If you happen to have a 1979 penny that shows no signs of wear or damage, you may be holding onto something quite valuable. But wait, there's more. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the potential for finding error coins, and the 1979 penny is no exception. Minting errors can make a seemingly ordinary coin highly valuable. Some of the most sought-after errors on the 1979 penny include the double die variety. This error occurs when a coin is struck more than once during the minting process, resulting in a doubling effect on the design. If you look closely at the lettering on the coin, specifically the word "Liberty" and the phrase, "In God We Trust," you might notice a slight doubling or blurring effect. This is a telltale sign of the double die error, and coins with this flaw are prized by collectors. Another possible minting error to look for is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck off-center during the production process. This gives the coin a unique and irregular appearance, with part of the design missing from the edge of the coin. Off-center strikes are particularly desirable because they're rare, and they make for a unique piece that stands out in any collection. Now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1979 penny could be worth if it's in pristine condition or has a rare error. Well, if you found a 1979 penny that's uncirculated or one with an error like a double die or an off-center strike, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And just how much are we talking about? Brace yourself, this 1979 penny could be worth as much as $63,000, that's right, $63,000 for a single penny. It might sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coin collecting, these kinds of finds are highly sought after, especially when the coin is in great condition or features a rare minting error. A 1979 penny in excellent condition, or one with a unique flaw, is a collector's dream, and it could fetch a premium price on the market. So, how can you spot a valuable 1979 penny in your collection? First, take a close look at the overall condition of the coin. Is it free from scratches, discoloration, and other damage? If the answer is yes, you might have an uncirculated example that could be worth much more than face value. Next, check the details of the coin for any minting errors. Look for doubled letters or off-center strikes. These are the signs of a coin that could be worth thousands. If you think you found a rare 1979 penny, the next step is to have it professionally graded. A certified numismatist can evaluate the coin's condition and confirm whether it has any valuable minting errors. Once graded, your coin can be sold for its true market value, which could be a pretty substantial amount. It's amazing to think that a penny, something so small and often overlooked, could hold so much value. The 1979 penny is a prime example of how even the most common coins can turn into rare and valuable treasures when the right conditions come together. Whether it's an uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting error, this penny has the potential to become a major windfall for the lucky collector who comes across it. Top 8 and last unique coin, we're going to explore a truly fascinating piece of US currency that could be sitting right in your pocket or jar of spare change. We're talking about the 1982 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, this coin may seem like just another penny, but stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll see why this coin is much more valuable than you might imagine. Let's rewind to 1982. The US was in the midst of a period of transition, both politically and economically. President Ronald Reagan had just taken office, and the country was navigating through an era of inflation, high unemployment rates, and rising interest rates. In the world of currency, one of the most significant events of 1982 was the change in the composition of the US penny. Up until this point, pennies were made of a copper alloy, but in 1982, the US Mint switched to a new formula, a copper-plated zinc core. The switch was due to rising copper prices, which made the traditional copper alloy penny too expensive to produce. This change made the 1982 penny unique because there are actually two types of 1982 pennies, those made from the old copper alloy and those made from the new copper-plated zinc. The transition to zinc pennies didn't happen overnight, which means that 1982 saw a mixture of both copper and zinc pennies being minted. This fact alone makes the 1982 penny an intriguing coin for collectors. On the obverse side of the 1982 penny, you'll find the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, which has been featured on the penny since 1909. Above his head, you'll see the inscription, "In God We Trust," with "Liberty" to the left and the year of minting, 1982, just beneath Lincoln's bust. The reverse side showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the unity and strength of the United States, with the words "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" surrounding it. Now, let's dive into the key factors that make the 1982 penny stand out among other coins. As we mentioned earlier, the 1982 penny is unique due to the change in its composition. Some of the 1982 pennies are made from the traditional copper alloy, while others are made from copper-plated zinc. This difference in composition can make a huge difference in the coin's value. The copper pennies from 1982 weigh 3.11 grams and have a distinctive reddish-brown hue, while the zinc pennies are lighter, weighing just 2.5 grams, and have a more muted, duller appearance. It's easy to tell the difference between the two if you have both in hand, and this is important because the copper versions of the 1982 penny are much more valuable to collectors, but the story doesn't end there. While the composition of the 1982 penny is enough to make it interesting, there's another factor that really drives its value up. Minting errors. As is often the case in the world of coin collecting, mistakes made during the minting process can lead to highly sought-after and valuable coins. One of the most notable errors for the 1982 penny is the double die variety. This error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, leading to a noticeable doubling effect on the coin's design. When looking at a 1982 penny, check closely at the letters on the coin, especially the word "Liberty" and the phrase, "In God We Trust." If you spot any noticeable doubling or blurry text, you may have found a rare double die error penny. These coins are highly collectible and can command a premium price due to their rarity. Another error to look for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, causing part of the design to be missing or off-center. Off-center strike pennies are unique, and collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for these quirky, irregular coins. So, what makes a 1982 penny truly valuable, and how much could it be worth? Well, if you happen to have one of the copper 1982 pennies in uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error, you could be in for a windfall. A 1982 penny in excellent condition or with a double die error or off-center strike could be worth significantly more than its face value. You're probably wondering just how much a 1982 penny could fetch on the open market. If your 1982 penny is in pristine condition or has one of the rare minting errors, it could be worth an impressive $43,000, yes, that's right, $43,000 for a single penny. It may sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coin collecting, this kind of value is not unheard of. The rarity of a well-preserved 1982 copper penny or one with a minting error, combined with the coin's historical significance, makes it a sought-after item for serious collectors. So, how can you tell if you found one of these valuable pennies? First, examine the composition of the coin. If it's made from the copper alloy, and not zinc, it's likely worth more than a typical penny. Second, check for any signs of minting errors. Look carefully for doubling in the text or any misalignments in the design. If you find anything unusual, it could be time to have the coin professionally graded by a numismatist, who can help confirm its authenticity and determine its true value. The 1982 penny is a perfect example of how a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance can turn out to be an incredibly valuable treasure. Whether it's the transition in composition or the potential for minting errors, this penny has become a highly sought-after item for coin collectors. If you found one of these rare gems, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're as excited about rare coins as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting discovery. Keep searching through your coin collection, you never know when you'll find your own hidden treasure. Happy collecting, and we'll see you next time.